Good day to one and all. This is Dr. Sivaraman of iknowindices.com. We are into Friday, 26th of May. Between 5 and 5:30 GMT, I'll try to give you the webinar Asian Session Live Market Analysis and the Forecast. I gave the forecast on Monday, 22nd of May. I'll try to review the forecast, whether the market has moved in tandem with it of the forecast expectations. As you see, overall from Monday to Friday, the market was holding high, and I was telling you that the players are holding high and building sell positions before making the drop. So now they are making the drop in the case of Euro GBP as well as USD, and you can see the negative net change in all the three as a contrarian move. And they are also, I told you, that they have been making the US dollar gaining moves in the case of USD CAD and Australian dollar. At the time, Euro and GBP, they just made the USD weakening move. And similarly, you come across now the contrarian move happening. So they try to make all contrarian moves in order to bring in volatility in the case of the crosses. So let us review the forecast, what I gave you on Monday, then understand how accurate it is for any trader to follow. So we look into that of the derived forecast, and using the market trading technique, fine-tune the forecast for our trading purpose. So when to enter, when to exit. So our concept is when to enter and when to exit. And it is not what level we have to enter and what level we have to exit. So when to enter and when to exit, there is total difference with regard to the conventional forecast and also the forecast guidance on trading. So we look into that of the timings and then try to enter and exit in the market. You find considerable profit is being earned. But to be on the safe side, we use the trading strategy. Instead of stop, we use the hedge order to limit the risk. And in the event, if the hedge is not filled, we try to keep stop at entry in a position and remove the hedge order, so that the purpose of using the risk limiting order is fulfilled. Then subsequently we trail the stop in a profit making position and maximize the profit. So an accurate forecast with a fine-tuned trading strategy should be able to give you in every trade the profit. That is a basic idea, and it may take some time for you to understand, because it is not the chart study, etc. It is market reading. Read the intentions of the players, and overall intentions of the player, I give it in the form of a forecast. And this forecast is derived based on the sequential statistical analysis, and that is considered as algorithm. So it took nearly 12 years for me to develop this algorithm with which I am giving the forecast. And we can understand how accurate the forecast is, how the players are making in line with the expectations of the forecast. So they just hold and made the drop on Tuesday, and again they started gaining and hold high and inducing the traders to do the short covering and build sell positions. Then subsequently they started sliding slowly. And today they are expected to firm up during the European session and then slide and drop during the US session as offloading of the positions. Then afterwards you come across the month-end time. End of May and beginning of June falls in 1 week. So in 5 trading days, the players will make as much volatile moves as possible with the extended stop ends in some pairs. So keep in mind that you can do only swing trade during that particular time frame and not leisurely trading. You should be waiting for the right opportunity to enter and exit. That is, whenever they make a very quick drop, try to buy. Once the new low is not being breached for 30 minutes, then exit out of the positions once they make a quick rise. So that sort of opportunistic trading should be done during that of the monthly trend reversal. Then after that of the monthly trend reversal move, in the month of June till 9th of June, they are expected to make some volatile moves. Then later on, we'll come across the upward shift in trading zone. After building huge buy positions near that of the middle level consolidation, they will make one straight rise to that of the higher trading zone and then continue to rise to that of the peak of the higher trading zone and hold high, build, book profit with regard to the lower level, middle level buys and also build sell positions. At that time, you will come across that high level consolidation with frequent upward stopping. And that will give that impression to that of the traders that the market is very bullish. But they make the market bullish, but the players build sell positions. The same way, now in the middle level consolidation, they made the market bullish at a higher level and then made brief upward stop and in order to create the fear that anytime it can shoot up on the upside. But afterwards we see that they are making the slide because they want the traders to buy with a bullish feel. Then once they drop, the traders holding buy position will liquidate with an understanding they are going to make further rise in the market. So for that they make the drop and then the traders sell it at a low level. So predominant of the traders, when they are emotional, they buy high and lose low or cut loss at lower level. This is what happens in the market. And the players enjoy the profit, buy at the lower level, and then continue to rise the market by taking further higher level buys. And that way, we'll be able to really see the upward shift in trading zone. All along, they have been doing the consolidation during the month of November, December, and also the first 4 months of the new year. Then people might be thinking that the players are simply making narrow range swings. But whether the new president has come or the old president or whatever it is, the players try to control the market in a very big way and share all the profit with the respective people. So nobody will say no to market operations. That is how they try to share the benefit to everyone excepting the traders. They earn from that of the traders and share it with it of all the people who are greedy after money. It is exactly opposite to that of Robin Hood story. Robin Hood was taking away money from that of the richest and sharing with the poor. But here the operators, they grab the money from the poor and share it with the richest. So try to trade carefully during next week. Now the levels in which the currencies are expected to swing, I showed it on Monday. Euro came down to 1.1162 and the high they set was 1.1267 in a narrow range of 100 pips. Then GBP from that 1.30 came down to 1.2868 and they are likely to come down further. Then in the case of USD came down to 110.87 and then 112 was the high and they will try to consolidate here and make the downward move in the case of Euro and GBP. Thereby the yen crosses will come down. Then in the case of CHF, they made the drop to 97 area, came down to 97, 96, 92, and then started gaining the levels. Now they will gain more. And then in the case of Canadian dollar, came down to 1.3388 and then gone up again to make the slide later on during the day. Then Australian dollar came down to 74.22 now, and then the high was 75. So again, it is about 90 pips swing they just made. So they are making the consolidation for a prolonged period because of the low volume. They hold high for a long period to build sell positions, inducing the bullish feel to that of the traders. Then later on, they are expected to make the drop and buy back this higher level sells what they have done it at the lower level when the traders liquidate it in distress. And they know how to do that very carefully. Every time they will just trigger the market fear using something which is happening naturally, or something about the fundamentals, or something about the natural calamities, etc. And then later on you find the traders liquidated in distress as if the account might be attracted for a margin call. Then later on they see that they have done a foolish thing and the players buy all those things. Nobody thinks when we are selling at the lowest level, who is buying? Why is buying? If they ask the question, they will not commit such mistakes. Similarly, buying at the highest level after the rise, then when we are buying at the highest level, who is selling? How come he is able to sell? If you think about it, then you will not commit such mistakes. So we'll do the market reading. I noted down the initial lows and the highs around 3:30 GMT today. During the Japanese session, the low was 1.1185 in the case of Euro, and the high was 1.1216. They are not breached the low, the high. Then in the case of GBP, 1.2868 is the low, 1.2946 is the high. They are not breached the low or the high. But the spread has become high, and we are likely to see big moves happening in the case of GBP. Then in the case of yen, 111.55 is the low. They just breached the low and came to 41. 111.41 holding low. So they are expected to slowly drop USD yen, followed by that Euro and GBP or to make the slide. Then the high is 111.86, which is not breached. Then CHF 97.23 is the low, 97.45 is the high. And those of you who have noticed yesterday, they have been doing range bound moves in the case of USD yen, and today they are active in the case of USD yen. So each time they take specific pairs and handle, so that we should be able to identify and trade accordingly. Then in the case of Canadian dollar, 34.74 is the low, 34.98 is the high. They are not breached the low or the high. In a narrow range they are holding. And in the case of Australian dollar, 74.23 was the initial low. They just breached by 1 pip and started gaining. And 74.58 is the high, which is not breached. So they made a brief downward stop in order to gain the level in the case of Aussie. And Canadian dollar also, they are expected to make a downward move during the day. At that time, Euro and GBP as well as USD yen are expected to make the downward move. And USD CHF might be making sideways move during the day. So with the help of the live market code page and also the net change, you can find out what sort of moves they are going to do from time to time. Then read it and take positions accordingly in specific currencies where they are making big moves. In anticipation of the big moves, we can take positions so that we'll be able to really see good profit in our trades. Ultimately, we are here in order to earn the money from that other market. It is not that the money what we earn in Euro trade is legitimate and other money is not. It's not like that. So there is no need to hold any sentiment towards any currency pair. They are all ratios and they are all tradable ratios. And these tradable ratios, you can try to find where exactly you can commit positions so that you'll be able to quickly book profit. There is no currency as a defensive currency, high risk currency, etc. All currencies, they will try to make subdued moves as well as virulent moves. So we need to know when they are going to make subdued moves, when they are going to make virulent moves. That can be easily identified by recognizing the false move they make. All quick moves are false moves. And whenever they make quick moves in any currency, then you'll commit position as a contrarian trade. You'll be able to see the real profit in it. Now, I just recommended the trades for you. Whenever they make a downward breakout or an upward breakout, try to take the position. Downward breakout, try to take a buy. Upward breakout, try to take a sell. And then you can close the position the opposite side during the day. So these are all the market timings. So follow the timings carefully and understand that early in the late session they handle the majors, mid sessions they handle the crosses. So if you are trading in crosses, wait for the mid sessions and buy during the first mid session and then exit during the second mid session. That's sort of trades you should do. So if you got any question, kindly ask me. I'll be willing to answer to the questions. The question answer window here, FX Trade Forex live video window is open for you to ask questions, and those questions will be displayed to me. I'll answer to those questions orally. My contact details are given here. If you do not want to ask in a public forum the questions, you can always contact me through the email dr@i-noindices.com or through Skype chat. You can add it as a contact in the Skype, inoindices@hotmail.com. I'll accept, then you can ask the questions. There is no string attached, there is no subscription required. You are welcome to ask questions. I'm willing to help you people. And similarly, Yahoo chat, inoindices@yahoo.com. And if you want to give a call, then my landline numbers are given here. Mobile number is given here. You can contact me and share your experience and also ask for trading ideas. Any question, please? I'm willing to answer the questions. So today, they're expected to make the dip and firm up. Dip, they have done it, and then they are firming it up. And then swing and rise, they could make in order to hit the stops of the short sellers at a nominally high level, and then start making the swing and slide and drop during the US session. On Monday again, big beginning false move, you could see, and at that time we'll come across that the month-end trend reversal, big volatile moves are to happen. If there are no questions, then I'll try to conclude the webinar. I take this opportunity to thank FX Trade for the facilities provided to present the webinar. I'll come back on Monday and give the forecast for the next week and try to understand that you can follow the forecast and fine-tune the forecast using the market trading, and then try to take opportunity trading whenever the big moves happen in the market. That way, we'll be able to really see that the equity builds up, however small you might be as a trader. Wish you all the best in your trades. See you on Monday.